Dear students, how are you? I hope you and all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today, I will discuss about biology second paper, that means zoology. Here I am M.D. Shahabuddin, lecturer, Department of Biology, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Today, I will discuss Chapter 12, Animal Behavior, and today's topic is reflex action, instincts, nesting of tailor bird, winter migration of bird, and spider web. The learning output, that means what we will be able to learn after this class. We will be able to learn about definition and characteristics of reflex action, definition of instincts, and examples of instincts, such as winter migration of birds, nesting of tailor bird, and spider web. First of all, we have to know what is reflex action. Reflex action is a simple inborn automatic response by a part of the body in an animal that involves no conscious control. Usually acts to protect an animal from serious injury. The term reflex was first coined by Sherrington, and this process is controlled by spinal cord, not brain. Here the pathway of reflex action: receptor, sensory neuron, dorsal neuron, synapse, gray matter, synapse, motor neuron, ventral root, and effector of muscle. Here you are watching an image of reflex action. Now I discuss the classification of reflex action. Usually the reflex actions are divided into two categories. Number one, inborn or unconditioned reflex, and number two, acquired or conditioned reflex. So, number one, inborn or unconditioned reflex is an innate reflex present from the birth and not dependent on an experience or habit, like the constriction of eye in a floodlight, jerking of knee, etc. Number two, acquired or conditioned reflex. This type of reflex is based upon experience and acquired through practice. For example, playing with football, singing a song, etc. Here, the characteristics of reflex behavior. It is a type of involuntary reaction held without any pre-planned programs. Number two, it is neither alterable nor amendable. One type of stimulus generates one type of response. Reflexes are innate, not learned. Reflex is very simple, occur rapidly, and come to an end of response. The next topic is instinct. Instinct is an inborn pattern of behavior that is characteristics of a species and is often a response to specific environmental stimuli. Here an example of instinct. This is FAP. FAP means fixed action pattern. Here you are watching an image of grey-legged goose. So here it is found to be same in all members of a species. Example, egg rolling behavior in grey-legged goose. The behavior is performed correctly in the first time without prior experience. It is stimulated by a sign of stimulus. once started run to completion with no further input. The next topic is nesting of tailor bird. Tailor bird is a common bird in our country. So the process of nesting of tailor bird is an excellent example of instinct. A long-legged young woman tailor bird becomes active in her first nest barrier after determining her mate. I repeat this. A long-legged young woman tailor bird becomes active in her first net barrier after determining her mate. Looking around at several trees where there are two large hanging leaves, where the nest will grow safely in nested. When they get suitable leaves of the tree and find a place, they start building nests. The first tailor bird to build a nest know nothing about the old birds' nesting activities or skills. Even so, owning on is still beyond the reach of the average person. Dear students, here a figure of nesting of tailor bird. The next topic is migration of birds. First of all, we have to know what is migration. A Latin word, migrare, means to travel. That means migration is a movement of organisms temporarily or permanently from one place to another place due to certain environmental causes. Migration in different birds is their instinct behavior performed over years from generation to generation in quest of food, reproduction, or cozy atmosphere which is more tolerant to them over a given period of a year. Some species of migratory bird take part in regular and periodic migration. Some of them return to the same breeding places year after year. The most significant incident in bird migration is their mysterious ability to navigate. The timing of migration is controlled primarily by the changes of day length. Managing birds navigate using cues from the sun and stars, the earth magnetic field, and probably also mental maps. At least 4,000 species of birds are regular migrants, which about 40% of the total number of birds in the world. I repeat this, at least 4,000 of species of birds are regular migrants, which about the 40% of the total number of birds in the world. The bar-tailed godwit can fly for nearly 7,000 miles without stopping and making in the bird with the longest recorded non-stop flight. There are about 690 bird species in Bangladesh, of which 310 are migratory. Every year, with the arrival of the winter, migratory birds of various species through some parts of Bangladesh, such as Jahangirnagar University, Hakaluki Haor, Hail Haor, Tanguar Haor, Nijhum Deep, Chittagong Hill Tracks, Mirpur Zoo, and many more are some of the get-together places of migratory birds. Here, the some migratory birds of Bangladesh, common Bangla name, common English name, and scientific name. ছোট সারালি, চামচ ছোট বাটান, বালি হাঁস, সাধারণ বাটান, sap pakhi, etc. Now I discuss the advantages of bird migration. Number one, migration helps birds avoid harsh climatic extremes. Number two, migratory behavior influences the rapid development of gonades. Number three, it can change the feeding habit of birds. Here, the disadvantages of migration of bird. Number one, many youngest are not able to reach the destination because they die during migration period. Number two, sometimes man-made high tours and lighthouse cause death of migratory birds. Number three, men themselves are not responsible for the death of migrants. They shoot these poor birds just for their own leisure and amusement. The last topic is today's class is spider web. Spider webs are the result of highly complex and unchanging behavioral patterns. This net plays a key role in the survival of spiders. The net acts as a trap to catch the prey, allowing the spider to run on the thread of the net at high speed. The spider webs is made of silk thread. I repeat this, the spider webs is made of silk thread. The material secreted from the abdominal special silk glands is used to make yarn through three pairs of weavers with hundreds of microtubules. The yarn from the scleroprotein secreted from the silk glands comes in contact with the air and turns into a hard silkworm yarn. Spider yarn is stronger than steel yarn of the same diameter. The thread can be up to 1/5 as long as it is torn. Dear students, here the different stages of spider web, and you will also watch a video about the spider web. Spider webs are spread all over the world. It takes less than half an hour. Most of the spiders that live in the field hatch very early in the morning at sunrise. Hans Peters was the first to observe spiders' weaving process. I repeat this, Hans Peters was the first to observe spiders' weaving process. So this is all from today's class. I hope you are you have watched the video carefully and you will be able to learn about the important topics. So no more today. Here the homework from today's class. Today's homework is describe winter migration of birds. I repeat this, describe the process of winter migration of birds. So dear students, thank you all. See you again in another day in another classes. Tata, Allah Hafiz.